Hi guys! Sorry for the poor light quality and my general dishevelled appearance because I've only recently got back from a funeral for an amazing man called Pete, who I'd like to dedicate this video to, if that's okay. But anyway, I don't want to focus on that because that's not relevant to this video. Also, sorry, I have to be really rather quiet because the whole of the rest of my family is asleep at this point, except my dad, who's watching telly downstairs and does not want to be disturbed. Anyway, as you can probably tell, I haven't made a video for a while, and there's a good reason for that, which is that my life has been rather hectic, let's just put it like that. It all started a couple of weeks ago when I decided I wanted to come out to my parents. I know it's been a long while coming. I've been out to my friends since I was about 12, and as far as I'm aware, my parents have no idea whatsoever. I thought they'd have some idea, but it turns out they didn't have a clue. So anyway, I started planning it. I was stressing quite a bit. I was texting Laura, I was texting my best mate Holly, asking, how should I do it? I'll admit I was planning on doing the whole, sitting them down at the table and explaining it all. Yeah, it didn't quite happen like that. Basically, let's just say I don't have the greatest state of mental well-being in the world. Yeah, okay. So I'd been feeling really, really bad that week for no apparent reason. Things have been getting me down. I've been feeling really, I don't like to use the word depressed because it's a serious condition, and what with my mum being a mental health nurse, I know exactly how serious depression can be. But, I was feeling depressed, to be honest. And so one day after school, like a few days before I've been planning on coming out to my parents, I was crying my eyes out in my bedroom, listening to music, lights off. I live up to the emo labels sometimes. And my mum found me and she insisted that I tell her what was wrong. So eventually I told her that the person who I like, being as vague as possible, the person who I like has got someone else, and she insisted that I told her who. So eventually I told her it was a girl who should remain nameless in case she or anyone who knows her watches this video, because that would be awkward. But yeah, so she found out, and I think it's safe to say she was a little bit shocked. I mean, she was supportive, I suppose. She didn't really say much about it. And then I said that I wanted to go to bed, and I did. And I thought that would hopefully be the end of it, because I thought she'd tell my dad, and he'd probably have a word with me, which would be annoying, but then that would be it, and that'd be fine. The next morning, my parents didn't say a word to me. Not about that, not about my sexuality, not about anything. They barely spoke to me the next morning, which, if you know my parents, is kind of strange. So let's just say I was stressing out quite a bit by the time I got to school, and I could already tell it wasn't going to be a good day. And then, in form time, we get shown this wonderful video about a girl who tried to commit suicide. It's a terrible, terrible thing, and I feel so sorry for her. But naturally, there were some dickheads in my class making comments, and it's safe to say I got more than a little upset. I probably got more upset than I should have been in the circumstances, but as I've already said, it was a bad day. Anyway, cut a long story short, I end up having a breakdown, locking myself in the school toilets and crying in student care for a day with the school nurse. But I won't go into that too much because you're not interested in my life. So let's just say I'm now getting counselling sessions once a week, and they are really good. I don't think anything's been better for me. The school has done. It's one of the best sort of examples of pastoral care that I've ever experienced with the school. What's really nice is that when I was 12, I was being harassed, bullied every single day because I'd just come out about my sexuality. And I think I'll do a coming out story video one of these days because it takes kind of a lot of explaining. But I was getting badly bullied, and so I decided I had to go to the school about it because I didn't want to tell my parents, and my friends are wonderful, but they couldn't really do much about it. So I went to the school bullying mentor who doesn't work at my school anymore, and I told her plainly I was getting bullied and I would really like the school to do something about it. And at first she was really nice, and I was thinking this is going to be brilliant. And then I told her that the reason I was getting harassed was because of my sexuality, and she pretty much told me, no way, I can't deal with this, you're way too young for that, there must be another reason. Now, I understand that as a 12-year-old saying, oh yeah, I like guys and girls, it's either going to sound a bit pretentious or a bit precocious, depending on how you look at it. But either way, aren't the schools supposed to be impartial about those sort of things? I mean, there are my peers, my age, 14, who are already drinking and taking drugs and having naked pictures of themselves leaked online, I kid you not. So surely a 12-year-old saying, oh yeah, I like both sexes shouldn't be too much of a big deal, right? Only of course it was made to be a big deal. And the bullying mentor, I don't want to put her down too much. She was nice enough, she tried to do what she could, but the next day I'd had to think about it, and I didn't want my sexuality to be made to be a big deal, and I'll admit I was scared. So I just said, right, I don't want anything to do with this anymore, and that was it, and I thought I could deal with it. I couldn't, and it's been 2 years since, and the bullying has got better, but again, I'll talk about that another time. So the good thing about this new counsellor who I'm talking to is that I told her in the first session, oh yeah, I'm bi. She didn't bat an eyelid. She said, oh, do you have a girlfriend or boyfriend? And I said, no, I don't. She goes, ah, it's alright. What do you need boys and girls for anyway? Which was nice of her. Anyway, the parent situation. So yeah, when I ended up in student care, they of course got called home. And they were giving, and because I told student care that one of the reasons I was so upset was that I'd come out to them the day before, my parents were naturally being overly supportive when I got home, which I suppose was nice of them, but also made me a bit uncomfortable because I'm not too good with feelings and talking about feelings and stuff. That makes me go, ooh. But I'd say they were sort of, how do I put this? They were doing their best to be supportive, but there was an underlying tone of, this is a phase, you'll probably grow out of this. Oh, never tell someone that. If they tell you they're gay or they're bi, please never say it's a phase. It's like the worst thing you can say to an LGBT person, because it's undermining their sexuality. Honestly, it is. That's like me saying to you, oh, you being straight is just a phase. That is if you're straight, obviously. So, but anyway, I think they're coming around to the idea, to be honest. And I wouldn't say I'm like running around waving a rainbow flag, at least no more than I did before, because, well, I'm a multi-shipping whore, I make everything gay. And they knew that beforehand anyway. But it has been quite a relief, because I can sort of be a bit more open, if you know what I mean. Like, I can say and do stuff, and I know that I don't need to worry if my parents will pick up on it. Even just silly stuff like watching the X Factor and going, oh my god, that guitarist is so fit, or just saying, oh, I want to see that film because that actress is in it and she is hot, you know, like just stupid stuff that I'd say to my friends all the time, but now I can say it in front of my parents, even if, you know, it's a bit awkward because you don't want your parents to know who you like. But, you know, and they don't seem to be like caring much at all, which is really, really good of them, and I do appreciate it. And I know I've had a little moan about their first reactions, but I'd say they're doing pretty well, to be honest, because, I don't know, I wouldn't say they're traditional parents, but they're not the most liberal, if you know what I mean. So I really do appreciate that they've been so accepting of me. And yeah, I'm finally out, which feels really good when I think about it. I'm not out, but not to my parents. I'm just out the closet. No more closet for Molly. Yeah, it feels really good, and I would recommend as an LGBT person doing it because it feels exceedingly liberating. And I understand that not everyone's parents are going to be accepting as mine, and lots of people's parents might have issues with it, and if that has ever happened to you, then I'm so sorry, and no one deserves that in their life. But as it is, I'm really happy, and I'd say I'm in a good place at the moment thanks to this, because I'm out, I'm getting counselling, things are good, and it's not often that I say that. And this has been probably the most honest video I've ever made on this channel, or ever, so hopefully you'll appreciate that, and leave a comment or whatever, because I just want to know what your experiences of coming out were, or if you have any just thoughts or feelings about this video in general. I'd love to hear from you. Anyway, I'll see you for now. Bye! Right, something I forgot to mention last night, so I'm adding on this morning. Over the weekend, me and my sister wrote and made and recorded and made a video for a parody that we wrote of One Direction song, Live While We're Young. Not a bad parody, because I love One Direction, obviously, check out the posters behind me. But she's really into Minecraft, so we made a Minecraft parody of it, and we would both love it if you checked it out. Obviously, you don't have to, but it's been posted on my channel and her channel, my other channel apart from this one, and so I'll put a link to it on both channels below, because if I just put one to my channel she'll kill me. And yeah, if you check that out, that would be awesome, because I'm really kind of proud of it. And yeah, thanks, bye again.